Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. First, got to thank our sponsors, Larry H. Miller Toyota in Murray. Where you buy a car, you're not just a customer, you become part of the family. It's easy to get service. It's easy to get your Tacoma or your 4Runner all taken care of, and they'll take good care of you. Go to Murray, ask for Jeffrey, or you can just go LarryHMillerToyota.com. All right, we're back at it. Season 10 for us, Season 2 in Utah for you. Our guest, Andre Tourigny. Bear, welcome back.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
How was your summer? Did you get to do stuff in Utah really? Because you're a Harley guy.
Yeah, I am. We went in the Zion Park with the Harley. Went in St. George. Went play golf there. Did hike, e-bike. We had a really good time. We visit quite a bit.
Yeah, good. And that's kind of. It's funny because St. George is kind of like our mini Phoenix.
Yeah. It was beautiful, but we went plenty of places, did a lot of hiking, and cannot tell you all the names of where we go because I'm not a name guy, but my wife know. But we honestly, we enjoy our time. We took more of our time around and to visit and to learn about Utah, so that was pretty cool.
That's really what I was hoping. Like at the end of the year, you and I were talking about you're going to hit on your Harley. I'm like, man, there's so much good in Utah to do on a Harley.
I said that to you. I did a conference in St. George, and that's what I said. I said it's a good keep it secret.
Yeah.
Before I went to AZ, I was. In Quebec, there's people who were talking about Sedona and talking about how beautiful it was and everything. And so when we went in AZ, we went visit that, and it's beautiful. It's unbelievable. But then when we came in Utah, we don't have the same publicity. The people was not saying, "Hey, go at Zion Park or go at this place." And when we went there, we were riding, and at some point, my wife said, "You know what? It's the most beautiful place we've been. It's more beautiful than Sedona." And I was thinking exactly the same. And how the hell we didn't hear about that before? I was that's unreal.
Well, that's our deal. We try to tell people Utah's no fun. Don't come here. All kinds of weird rules. And you're not gonna like it. It's too cold. It's full. Don't come here.
The word is out now.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from St. George. That's where I grew up till 6th grade. So that's my area.
There you go.
Okay, now you're back, and you're getting into the season, and I was just thinking of all the impact that, we don't know a lot of the scouts, but the impact the scouts have on this team and the faith that you got to put into them to go into a draft and to come out with Denoyer and Aginla and Baudouin. It's amazing the impact that those players are going to have on the team maybe this year.
But you need that. You need to have different source of talent coming in your team. If you don't do good at free agency, you won't make it. If you do bad trade, you're screwed. If you don't recruit right, you're screwed. If you don't scout right, you won't make it. You need to be tuned in on every cylinder, and it is what it is. So I think, and to be consistently good, scouting is really, really important because that's your source of talent coming in your team, and the way the CBA is done with the entry-level contract, et cetera, give you an opportunity to have balance throughout your lineup. So that part of our organization is really good and it has to be good. That's a really important part.
And when you look back, you sit back and you hear who they're bringing in, and you see they bring in two guys fresh off a Stanley Cup championship.
Yep.
And that's kind of funny too. I don't know of another NHL team that's ever had two Czech goaltenders. And you seem like you're pairing. We got more Russians coming in to match up with the Russians we have.
I'm sure it did happen, but it's a good point for us. I think accumulating talent is really important. Without talent, you cannot make it. You need good player, that's for sure. But then you need leadership. And you need a culture. And I think that the work Bill did in the past 4 years, when we start bringing the Andrew Ladd and the Louis Eriksson and Stroman and Jay Beagle was amazing, and the Patrick Nemish and all those veterans who help start to shape our culture and help our young leader, the killers and the crosser, and to be around those guys. And last year, he went for the home run, bringing Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah.
You know, Sergachev, Mata, Colsey, Stanley. And this year he had on with Vanecek and Schmidt. And that is really important because building a culture is not like just putting something on the wall. It's something you have to live through. You have to breathe. You have to sweat. You have to bleed. And those guys been through it. So that help a lot to add to experience to our leadership who we love. We love our Kerfoot and Sergachev and Keller and Crosser and so on and so forth, Schmaltz and all those guys. But having those guys surround by the right crew, that's really important. You can think of every great team. You think of the Blackhawks when they were a dynasty. Okay, they had Jonathan Toews as captain. Oh, yeah. They had Brent Seabrooks. They had Johnny Aduya. They had Duncan Keith. They had Andrew Ladd. They had, a lot of guys like that who surround those guys. So it's not just having a leader or a leadership group. They need to be surrounded by the right crew.
I feel like you're getting to that mix that you've talked about before, and I saw Bill make a quote where we did the A, the B, and now the C part is the cup, bringing the cup, and now we've done the rebuild, now we're in the build, and you've got so much talent under the age of 26.
Yeah,
some of the top scorers in the league from last year, and bringing in Peterka and he had 75 points last year, and he's 23.
23. Yeah.
I mean, now you look at it, is that the balance that you need? Like you mentioned that with the Blackhawks before. You've got to have the youth, and then you surround them with the talent or with the legacies.
Yeah, I think you need to have the right core of talent, and you need to surround them. I think you're perfectly right. I like what Bill said. We were in the rebuild, now we're in the build. Before we're looking at C, we need to succeed in B, because if we're not succeed at B, we'll never get to C.
Right.
So we cannot get ahead of ourselves, and we cannot think about what will happen in a month, in 2 months, or 3 months. Because if you think about your show in 4 months, your show today will probably not be as good as you can deliver. You know what I mean? So you need to be focused on today making the best show you can. So in 4 months, your show would be even better. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in hockey. If we're not focusing on what we have to do every day, and we don't maximize our potential every day, as a player, as a person, as a coach, anybody in the organization, that's what has to be our focus. And if we get lost in where we want to go, that doesn't work. You need to follow the GPS along the way and make sure you have the right route. If not, that won't work. Right.
And yeah, I believe in that 100%. And it's so much fun to see all this work coming together. And again, I didn't follow Arizona very much. I'd watch them when they play the other teams I wanted to watch, but then as I see you guys come in, I get so excited. It seems like it's been a masterclass. Honestly, you guys come in and it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen with the amount of talent that you have. And then and you speak of culture, and I've watched some of the players that I've really liked over Dev Camp, like Will Smith and Denoye. You see how much fun he has every shift.
That's really important, and that's where early on you were talking about the scouting. And Bill is a scout. Bill, as a number one, is a scout. So we have a good foundation there. And the character of okay, this guy has talent, but the next step for us is leadership, and the next step is culture, or it's all at the same time. But if you have talent, but you don't have leadership and you don't have the right culture, we see an organization around the league who has a lot of talents, but they never succeed in the B. In the build, they rebuild, they accumulate the asset, but now that has to go in the right direction, and for that you need to have the leadership and the right culture. So that's really important.
Do you know? When there's a cancer in the locker room, can you identify it immediately and go to your GM and say like, hey, this isn't working, we need to trade this guy, or is it on the coach to fix that guy?
There's a little bit of everything in what you ask there. First,
I get that it's a complicated question.
No, but we'll simplify that. That first of all, we'll say probably 90% of the time you see it really quick. You don't always see how deep is the problem, but you can see, okay, there's Houston, we got a problem here. We need to fix that. But the player knows. I always say that. I say that a million times. Player knows. You cannot fool the room. The guys, they know.
Right.
That is for sure. And then, as a coach, I cannot trade player. It's not my job.
Right.
I can raise the flag and say, hey, we got a problem, but my job is to try to fix the problem. My job is to try to make it happen. My job is to treat the problem. You know what I mean? So, it's important for me to not cross the line and say, it's your job. Trade him. There's nothing I can do.
Right.
No, my job is to try to fix a problem. And Billy's job, if he feels, okay, that doesn't work, he will do what he has to do. And we need to work together. There's no doubt about it. It cannot be, the line of communication has to be really, really good and really tight. But if he try to do my job and I try to do his job,
right.
Well, probably if the singers
you turn into the Dallas Cowboys,
sing, won't be as good. So we need to be connected. We need to work together. But I cannot lose sight of my job is to work with the asset I have, and I have to make the best out of it.
Well, I think the biggest problem you have this year is that you have all this amazing talent in only 20 spots. Like,
that's a good problem.
Isn't that amazing? Like,
but you know what?
Guys that would have made the team 3 years ago, hands down, are not going to make the team this year. Guys that would have made the team last year.
It was the same last year.
Yeah.
When we sent Doan and Yamamoto in the minor, come on, those guys they're NHL players. So we were starting to get at that point. Now we're getting even deeper in the situation. I think we talk about the growth. What our guys, the biggest challenge we had last year by far, even if we talk about it at the end of the season prior, but when you arrive in it, even if our guys react perfectly, it's tough for a player who play 18 minutes to suddenly play 15.
Right.
It's just a matter of rhythm, confidence. Even if you understand, hey, the team is better, the pie will be split in more pieces. Kells went from 20-something minutes to 19-something. Even him lost a minute and some. And he was not he didn't tell me, but he was surely not always happy about it. Even if I talked to him in my exit meeting the year before, say, hey, that's where it's going. And if we want to be successful as a team, you have to accept it.
Yeah.
And he was okay with it. But Alex Kerfoot and Lawson Krause and Matthias Michelli and so on and so forth, they all reduced their ice time. It's not easy for a professional athlete to adjust to that. And that was a tough process. So to your point, okay, now we have to fight for the 20 spot, and then we need to fight for the ice time. But I want to believe our team is more equipped, better prepared for that, and they know, hey, there's not more than 60 minutes for the group we have, so we need to split that, and we need to put the best player for each situation on the ice.
Well, I imagine a couple players had to sign and say, like, all right, I'm re-signing or signing. I'm not trying to point out any players, but I'm coming to Utah again or for the first time, and I might be an AHL call-up, but I plan on playing, but I might be an AHL call-up.
Well, I hope they don't think that way. I like, this, I don't know who said that. I don't remember, but he said, what's your B plan? I don't have a B plan.
Yeah.
I have an A plan, if that doesn't work, I will find another A plan.
Yeah.
There's no B plan, and I like that. I think at some point you need to be all in. You need to be committed, and I don't have a B plan. My B plan is maximize what we have. That's the A plan, and if the A plan doesn't work, well, we'll have to find another A plan because there's no B plan that will work, in my opinion. So, I hope all our players come here not for a B plan, for an A plan. And if the A plan doesn't work, well, you need to have enough character to find a new A plan. But I want all of our players to be extremely competitive and to want to have the best opportunity they deserve. And from there, yes, we'll need to adjust. They will need to adjust. We will need to adjust. But I think that's we want our guys to be really competitive.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have probably the most competitive camp. Well, it's going to be the most competitive camp Utah's ever had because it'll be more than last year.
So yeah.
But it's amazing. I love what you guys have done. I know we have limited time, so I've got to let you go. But I'd love to get into a real deep conversation with you about some of the lines and work and stuff, because you had to have been salivating and already thinking like, where do I put Tanev? Where does he fit on the power play?
Yeah.
Where and I'm just excited about Tourigny, man. I like the whole thing, everything that's coming up this year, and I really hope to see one of these first rounders from the last couple of years make the team.
That will be a really interesting training camp for sure. And anytime if you want to chat, you know where to find me. Find Jeffrey first, and Jeffrey know where to find me.
All right, and I will, and I'm excited about it, and I hope our audience is excited about it. And thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure, Jay.
All right, that's the Utah Puck Report.